Hello, and welcome to the Career and Technical Scholarship Reviewer Training. My name is Mesa, and I am an awards advisor at WSOS. I'm a part of the awards team, which is responsible for the design of the scholarship and for the administration of the awards to our students. The application cycle is a very exciting time because it is when we are able to select even more students to receive this life-changing scholarship. Therefore, I am so grateful that you've chosen to volunteer your time and help us select our newest group of scholars. I want to start today's training with a little bit of context about who we are. I know many of you are already very familiar with WSOS, but I also know there are quite a few of you who are just joining us for the first time during this application cycle. So we are the Washington State Opportunity Scholarship, or WSOS, and it is the mission of WSOS to help build pathways into high-demand careers in Washington State for Washington students. There are many barriers to accessing the high-demand jobs in Washington State, and we want to help minimize those barriers so that these opportunities can be more equitably accessed. To accomplish this, we offer two scholarships, the Baccalaureate Scholarship and the Career and Technical Scholarship, which is often abbreviated to CTS. The Baccalaureate Scholarship is for students who intend to earn a bachelor's degree, while CTS is for students that intend to earn a certificate, apprenticeship, or associate degree. While WSOS is reviewing applications for both scholarships at this time, you will be reviewing submissions from CTS applicants only, and that will be the focus of today's training. The students selected to receive CTS will receive $1,500 per quarter for the duration of their program. This year, we are selecting the first cohort of CTS scholars and are selecting a total of 550 students. Because the application cycle for this program is open 3 times in an academic year, we have already completed the selection process for the first 440 students. And during this application cycle, we will select the final 110 students to be a part of cohort 1. I really can't overemphasize the importance of your role as a volunteer reviewer. The application is made up of a few sections, including information about the applicant's academic pathways and their finances. And then there is the personal information section, which is really important for helping us understand our applicants more holistically, and is the section you will be scoring. As a reviewer, it's really important that you maintain an equity lens when you are grading this section because we have such a diverse group of applicants. Not all students will have the same experiences, and really not all students need the same experiences. This scholarship is for students looking to enter a wide range of fields from welding to nursing to information technology. So what is needed to succeed in these programs really varies quite greatly. Okay, so on this slide are the questions exactly as they appear on the application. WSOS values scholars who demonstrate resiliency, initiative, and follow-through. We know students are more likely to succeed in their program and careers when they have these qualities. Think about a significant experience that challenged you academically or personally. What was the challenge? What did you do to overcome the challenge? Which of your skills and/or strengths helped you overcome the challenge? There are a wide variety of challenges that a student could choose to write about and receive full points for. What we want to understand from the student's answer is how they navigate the challenges, because we want to understand the likelihood of their success in their program. Students are given the guidance to write approximately 3 to 4 sentences to answer each question, but it is important to note that we do not have any actual restrictions about how long or short their answers can be. So any answer is valid so long as the student has addressed the question. Please pay attention to your scoring habits and make sure you're not inadvertently showing favor to longer answers versus shorter answers or vice versa. There are 3 things you should remember when you are grading: score on content, not grammar, organization, or style. Like I said earlier, CTS supports a wide range of programs, and this large variation in programs means there is significant variation in the skills students need to succeed in their intended fields of study. Therefore, reviewers should make sure they keep the intent of the questions in mind when they are completing their review. Students' grammar and the structure of their answers should have no bearing on their score. Instead, we ask that reviewers focus solely on content. Remember, the goal of this section is to better understand the likelihood of applicants earning their intended credential based on their demonstration of resiliency. Be consistent in how you score. Scores are normalized once all applications have been reviewed to account for the fact that readers do not assign scores in the same way. Some tend to give lower scores and some higher. It's okay if your interpretation of the scoring rubric varies slightly from other volunteers, but it is important that you're consistent with your process. And make sure you give a range of scores. If you award all applicants a score of 5, the impact and value of each 5 will be dramatically reduced after we normalize your scores. Those students in your review bundle who truly met the criteria necessary for a score of 5 will not receive that full boost in their overall application score. Now, to explain a little bit more about the scoring system, and before I go over this, I do want to say all of the information I'm about to discuss on this slide will also be available to you in the form of a written rubric. So don't worry too much about having the grading criteria memorized. When you are grading student submissions, you will give them a score between 1 through 5, where 5 is the best possible score a student can receive. And you will be scoring based on the whole of the story shared by the applicant across their 3 answers. A high score should be given to students that show their ability to overcome challenges, to navigate and utilize resources, and their mindsets about obstacles as growth opportunities rather than roadblocks. If a student writes about a challenge they faced, but does not show any evidence of meaningful action to overcome the struggle they experienced, they should be awarded a score of 1. For example, if a student says, "I had a very challenging year in school, I was struggling in class and was at risk of failing. Fortunately, I did not fail and I learned I can do anything I put my mind to." Because their response does not show us what the student did to overcome the challenge, they should not receive full points. However, if the student had said, "I had a very challenging year in school, I was struggling in class and was at risk of failing, so I asked my friends to help me study. I asked a school advisor for support, and I looked at YouTube videos outside of class to try and understand the material better," that student shows us that they have strategies for overcoming challenges. You're going to see a really wide range of challenges discussed. It is not about what the challenge was or how well the student can write. A high score is earned by showing action to overcome the challenge. We're looking to see how the student demonstrated resiliency. And finally, I want to give you an overview of the portal you will be using to grade applications that have been assigned to you. So on the slide right now, you can see the home screen for the portal login. The first thing you will need to do when you get the link to the reviewer portal is to enter your email. Once you've done that, you will get an auto email in your inbox with a unique link. You'll need to click the link in that email, and then you'll be taken to a page in the portal where you can set your password. So this is what you'll see when you first log in. On the very right side of the screen, you'll see the links to the training that you're watching right now, the training overview document with scoring rubric, and a copy of the guide that is provided to applicants, which I do encourage you to read, as I think it's really helpful for you to understand what we are asking for from students. Then these here in the middle of the screen are the applicant submissions that have been assigned to you. So to begin scoring, click the review button. When you first open a submission, you will see the student's answer here. Then you will need to click the score sheet button at the top right of the page. This will open the rubric and the section for submitting your score. So if I read this student's submission and I decide that they have an excellent, good answer, I'll go ahead and click that button there. Now, we strongly recommend that you click Save as Draft or Save Draft after you've done your first few scores and not submit right away, because once you submit that score, it's final and cannot be changed. And as I was saying before, it's important that you be consistent in how you score. So we actually ask that you read a few submissions, enter the scores and save them, then go back and submit once you've had a chance to get a feel for this process. Chances are you may want to adapt the way you're scoring once you've read a few submissions. So once you've entered a score and clicked to Save Draft, you can go and review other submissions by scrolling back to the top and clicking Listings. As you're scoring, you'll be able to see which essays you've already graded and which ones you have yet to submit. If it is helpful, you can filter your assignments here to show you what is still in progress and what is already complete. If the button next to a submission says Done, that means you've submitted the score and it's complete. If it says Continue, that means you've entered a score and saved as draft. And if it says Review, it means you have not submitted or entered any score. In order for your volunteer time as a reviewer to complete, all assignments should be labeled Done. So you can see the submission that I entered a score for but did not submit is right here. I can go ahead and open it back up and see what I entered. Again, I have to click Score Sheet. And you'll see my previously entered score is saved here. Now, if I still feel good about this score, I can go ahead and click Submit. Now, if I go back to my listings, we can see that the button for this now says Done, and I am no longer able to edit the score that was input. I do want to take a moment to mention that there is a confidentiality agreement that you will sign when you log into the portal for the first time. Please make sure you read it and understand. We know that reading on a screen does not work for everyone, so if you need to print out any assignments to aid in your ability to score them, that is okay. Please feel free to do so, but it is incredibly important that you properly dispose of any printed submissions to maintain student confidentiality. All right, I hope this gave you the context and guidance you need to feel comfortable moving forward with scoring your assignments. Again, there is an additional document available for you to review that summarizes the content covered today in a different format and is always accessible via the reviewer portal. And if you're still uncertain or have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. My email address is up on the screen now, and I am happy to help. We are also hosting a read party on February 11th at Coterie Lounge. All volunteers are welcome to come join us and work alongside other volunteers to knock this out and get everything scored in a work party. Or, of course, if you just want to read these at home, that's great too. But we would really love your company that evening if you're interested. And more details about that event can be found in your email. And finally, please remember that the window for review is February 8th through February 18th. If for any reason you are unable to complete your assigned bundle, please let us know as soon as possible. We have a pretty short timeline for selecting our new scholars once these submissions have been scored, so it's really important that we have the ability to reassign your bundle to someone else if needed before the deadline. It's also really important that you score and submit all of your assignments. Unfortunately, we cannot accept scores if you've only completed a portion of your bundle because that impacts our normalization process. So again, if for any reason you are unable to complete your bundle by February 18th, please reach out, and thank you all so much for choosing to volunteer with us.